Tell you, the world's problems, a lot of them, folks, can be solved by breathing. Jacob Bila, I want you to breathe. Just breathe. That's all it is. You see, the mayor, Eric Adams, is to require New York City public schools to offer students 2 to 5 minutes of mindful breathing. This is true. All of the public schools will soon be required to offer a couple of minutes of mindful breathing exercise to kids every day. So I wanted to find out a little bit more. That's why I'm bringing in right now Janine Stiene. She's Long Island-based, speech-language pathologist, founder, by the way, of Long Island Speech. And we appreciate a couple of minutes with Janine. It is good to have you. Is this true? Is this the elixir, so to speak, of solving problems, keeping kids calm and everything else? What am I reading here, Janine? Good to have you.
Well, thank you so much. It's so great to be back. So thank you for having me. I think it is the first step in trying to support, especially that pediatric population, with some of the social anxieties and general anxieties that we're seeing occur secondary to hiding behind a mask for a while, or secondary to being outside of the ability to be social, to communicate, to work with peers. And then beyond that, even just be able to manage their own stress. The anxiety and the stress levels of children, as you can see in the news, has skyrocketed. And we need to take a step, or a first step, and I think this could be that first step.
All right. Listen, I'm good for anything here. So if it's going to help and everything else, we got a tough world we're living in today, and kids are affected indeed. So you are a big proponent of this as far as this mindful breathing and everything else. Now, should all people be doing this daily, Jay?
I definitely think it could be beneficial. I mean, even the Apple Watch will give you an alert now that says, take a second and breathe, and it talks you through that mindful breathing. I think it has a place in everybody's life. It's just a matter of, we call it from breathing from your toes to your nose, or your nose to your toes, making sure that you're more centered and being able to recognize when it's necessary is going to be what's important. It's great to incorporate it into a school day, but these individuals, the children, adults in general, have to know when to employ that strategy, especially if they're feeling that anxiety or stress.
You see this kind of permeating its way to Long Island schools?
I think that some of the private schools, definitely on Long Island, my daughter in particular, her private school and elementary school definitely was already incorporating this. I don't think it's a negative. It's a couple minutes a day. There's plenty of professionals in each of the academic centers that can take on this role of teaching the children how to, even the adults and the administrators. I think it will be supportive for everyone, whether it be Long Island or outside of New York. I think it's definitely the first step.
You know, I think His Honor is on to something here. The proper meditation. I know he practices, I think he does a little yoga instruction. I think so. I think I read that. But maybe he's on to something here. You know, maybe all the unrest. You know, actually, maybe we could put this in the incarceration facilities in and around. Because people who are being left back out on the streets and everything else, you know, maybe if we give them a few exercises, we can kind of quell the waters out there, Janine.
I think, I don't think it's a bad thing, but I definitely feel like there's more to it, especially those individuals that are incarcerated. Oftentimes there's a lot more behind that, and mental health is going to still be, or mental health professional is still going to be necessary, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I think if we can teach people how to manage their stress, or at least in certain situations, it's going to be a benefit, whether it be with individuals that are incarcerated or individuals in an academic setting or even in a workplace.
Sounds like a good thing. Hey, listen, whatever helps, right? Whatever helps. And, of course, Janine Stiene does a great job. Is it Stiene or Stein, by the way? Because I feel like I'm mispronouncing.
It is Stiene, Janine Stiene. I like to be the rhyming therapist.
There you go. And I had that right in the beginning, but I kind of slipped at the end here. So there you go, Janine Stiene. So Janine, talk to me. Let's give you a little plug here regarding LI Speech and Spot Pal. Go ahead. Give me a sense.
So LI Speech, we are a group of speech language pathologists, and I am the founder of Spot Pal. Both goals is really to, as an SLP or a speech pathologist, and with Spot Pal, our goals are to always support a proper resting posture, maximize patients' airway, and give them that ability and teach them how to utilize or maximize their breath support. And that, again, is breathing from their toes to your nose.
Okay, I like it. And Spot Pal, what's that all about?
Spot Pal is a device that I founded and just patented, and the goal is to teach your tongue where to rest so that you may open up your airway and maximize your breath.
Now, are these instructors, final one here, are they going to get a video of some sort in order to kind of pass on this exercise? Not all of them will be well-versed, I would imagine. How will that work out as far as these teachers are concerned, if it's implemented throughout? I
think there could be issues with that just because as an academic professional, you're not necessarily mindful of if that individual is able to breathe a certain way. Can they breathe through their nose? Is there anything obstructing their airway? So I could definitely see this having a hiccup. I think they definitely need to make sure they're working alongside the medical professionals and the mental health professionals and, of course, the speech pathologists to make sure they have the ability to breathe and have the ability to take those deep breaths. Because if they are unable to, based on anything anatomical or structural, it's going to be a moot point. They're not going to be able to benefit from this type of mindful breathing.
Yeah, I don't have a problem as long as somebody is well instructed as far as passing on the information. So I think that's going to be a very important aspect of this whole thing. How can people learn a little bit more about this? Is there a website, anything you're providing?
Yes. You can either, if you're looking for someone who's able to teach you, then by all means, lispeech.com, and you can see one of our speech pathologists. And if you're looking for a device that can really support that breath and maximize it, then spotpal.com.
Excellent job. Janine Stiene checking in, speech language pathologist, and of course, founder of Long Island Speech and Spot Pal. Important stuff. And we appreciate it. Until next time, my dear. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.